But can you name anyone who's actually read his own premature obituary? Has anyone ever read their own obituary while being alive?
I'd be surprised if there's someone who was presumed dead during the war or something and then came back.
Might have been found, yes. Well, there are two stories. One was that Alfred Nobel read his own obituary and was described as being a merchant of death because he invented...
Dynamite?
Dynamite, yes, exactly. And he was so horrified, and he wasn't dead, that he instituted the Nobel Prizes in order to try and reclaim his name. That is not, in fact, a true story, but it's a myth. The other one is Marcus Garvey, the Jamaican black nationalist, apparently died as a result of reading his obituary. He had a stroke when he read the Chicago Defender newspaper, which printed his obituary describing him as broke, alone and unpopular.
Oh.
It's terribly sad.
It's like Googling yourself.
Yeah.
Mine would just say, it's safe to come out now.
Yeah.
He's gone, honest.
It would have friends who knew him said, yes, he really was like that.
I did say the other day, I was driving through Islington and there was a hearse slowing everything down, and I did say to my wife, if it's my funeral, tell the bloke driving the hearse to step on it. I would not...
You should, instead of having a coffin as well, just have the body, so there's a gun round the corner, you slam it against...
Can you get some chickens? Get some chickens in a cage, you know, some boxes to drive through, just make it
like an A-team finally up.
Yeah,
what music do you want your coffin to go, when your coffin goes into the... disappears?
The Sweeney theme.
That would be a good one.
Well, when my dad...
The end music, you know, when it's really slow.
When the foot presses on the accelerator.
I quite like the music from Allo Allo with You Have Been Watching. When my dad died, he's a big fan of sailing, so we gave him a Viking send-off. We put his ashes in a boat and tried to set fire to it, but because it was in the North Sea, it wouldn't light. So what we did was we were trying to fill the boat full of his ashes, and we're going, do you tip the ashes straight into the boat, or do you put them in bags? And my mum, who's ever the practical, she went, I've got some sandwich bags. I'll get some sandwich. So we hand-packed him in the boat, and then we went out to sea, and off he went and shot off into the distance.
Was it remote control boat?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was remote control, like a proper big yacht. And I just,
The word for
You
that...
sent your dad off with 4 double A's.
Yeah, we did. Just somewhere.
Keep going till the batteries run out.
You're not just
You're there with an air rifle
Hey,
like
and
that.
the people from the miniature village were going, help that man, someone help me!
The little lifeboat comes out.
Would you not argue over who used the remote control? That wouldn't work in our family. Give it here, you're doing it wrong. It was my dad too! Give us a go!
The word dignity is not the first in your...
No, but this is the thing. That's exactly what he would have wanted, and I've said the same thing. Like Hunter S. Thompson, you know, when he died, Hunter S. Thompson was put in a cannon and just fired off across the valley that he used to own. And what I'd quite like to do is I'd like to be put in, like, pepper spray, and then, you know, just people that I don't like, I'm going to get my wife to go like that. That's for noble.
Thank you for watching. Do remember to subscribe to the QI channel and click here to watch more videos. Well, please, come on, pick something.